Stress Management, and How to Break Free from a Stressful Life, Part 6. How do you react to stress? How do you react to stress? Do you fly off the handle? Do you get an upset stomach? Do you rush to the nearest bar to grab a drink? You cannot control all of the stress in your life. There are some things that you can eliminate, such as negative people or a job that drives you crazy, but for the most part, you are at the mercy of the rest of the world. Most mental disorders, such as anxiety disorders that are the result of stress, are related to control, or lack of control. When we feel as though our environment is out of control, it can be very disconcerting. Once we realize that we cannot possibly control everything in life, we can then start to learn to live. Realizing that we are not in control of everything can take a lifetime and is something that some people can never quite get. The idea of being unable to control everything around us is so frightening that many of us spend a good portion of our life trying to dismiss this idea. As babies, we thrive on feeling secure, and the idea that we are not in control conflicts with that sense of security. When we have conflicts in our life, it causes stress. How we choose to react to stress is entirely up to us. While you may not control the stressors entering your life, you can control how you react to stress. Your reactions are one of the only things that you can control, as you cannot control the actions of other individuals nor everything that happens in life. You can choose to react to stress in a negative way, such as taking a swig of whiskey, or you can react in a positive way, such as cleaning the kitchen floor. With one way, you are bound to spend money and time and wake up with a headache. The other will cost you nothing but time, and in the morning, you will have a sparkling floor. Negative reactions to stress include drinking, drug use, being unable to get out of bed, having a panic attack, abusing a family member or even an animal, abusing prescription drugs, promiscuous sex, and compulsive behaviors such as gambling or overspending. Positive reactions to stress include exercising, practicing yoga, meditating, cleaning, breathing techniques, talking your problems out with a therapist or friend, listening to calming music, or even counting. You can choose to react to stress in a negative way or in a positive way. It is all up to you. This is the only choice that you have when it comes to most stress. Think about a stressful situation that you have in your life at the moment. If you are like most people, you will not have to think for long, as most of us have some sort of stress in our lives. Think carefully about the stress. Write it on a piece of paper. Is this stress something that you can control? Is it something that you can do without? If the stress is something that you can eliminate from your life, why are you not ridding yourself of this stress? If the stress is something that you cannot control, how are you reacting to the stress? Are your reactions negative or positive? For example, suppose the one thing in your life that is stressing you out is that you are worried about money. Most of us worry about money at one time or another, so this is not an unusual stressor. Is this something that you can control? To an extent. One way to alleviate the stress is to look for a better job or a second job so you can earn more money. What if you cannot control this problem? Suppose you cannot find another job? How should you react to the stress in the meantime? If you react negatively by drinking or taking drugs, do you think that will earn you more money? Perhaps if you do something physical, you can not only alleviate the stress but also actually make some money. Anne was always worried about money. She would stress out about it quite a bit. In her small town, there was little opportunity. She had a job, but she barely got by. She could never see a way out of her rut, and this bothered her a great deal. She worried that if some catastrophic event occurred, she would be broke. How would she live? How would she pay the rent and be able to eat? Anne could have reacted to her stress in a negative manner. Actually, she did do that for quite some time. She went to the doctor and was prescribed tranquilizers. These were soothing, and her insurance covered the cost of the prescription. When the insurance at work changed, however, the prescription for the tranquilizers was no longer covered. Fortunately for Anne, she had a doctor who understood her situation and helped her wean herself off of the tranquilizers. He then suggested some exercises to relieve Anne's stress that have been mentioned in this video. Instead of popping pills, Anne began to write. She enjoyed writing so much that she began submitting stories and articles on different sites on the internet. This took her mind off of her problems and allowed her to express herself creatively. One day, she got an offer of $10 for one of her stories. Pretty soon, Anne was writing in her spare time and earning extra money. It wasn't long before she had a nice nest egg stashed away and the stress about money was far behind. By choosing to react to her stress in a positive manner, she not only controlled her stress, but ended up eliminating the stress. Choose to react to your stress in a positive manner instead of in a negative way and you will achieve positive results. Choose to react in a negative manner and you will begin down the route of self-destruction. Tips to break free of stress. By now you realize that you cannot control stress and that, as long as you live in the world, you are going to encounter some sort of stress in your life. You have probably learned the types of stress that you have encountered as well as the types of stress that you were able to control and those of which you had no control. You have also learned that although you cannot control stress in your life, you can control the way that you react to stress. You have learned the difference between negative reaction and positive reactions. There are many different ways you can alleviate stress in a positive manner. Here are a few positive steps to alleviate stress. 1. Breathing exercises. Breath in through your mouth and out through your nose. Take deep breaths and count to 10 in between each breath. Try to hold the air in your lungs for at least 10 seconds before exhaling through your nose. 2. Get into the routine of watching a certain television program every evening and stick to it. Make sure that it is entertaining and funny. You can look forward to seeing this bit of entertainment each night and will put some stability in your life. 3. Get a dog. Although a dog may be stressful at first, a dog will force you to slow down when it comes to life. Like people, dogs thrive on routine. In addition to getting you to slow down, a dog will also help you settle into the routine. 4. Find a creative pursuit. Stifled creativity can be very stressful for some people. This can also be the reason for your stress. Taking up a hobby that is fruitful such as painting or writing, can not only relieve your stress but eliminate the stress. 5. Read a book before bed instead of taking sleeping pills. Reading a book is a natural way to relax and is much better for insomnia than sleeping pills. 6. Join a gym and force yourself to go. You may be more inclined to exercise if you actually shell out some money for the club. In addition to exercising, you will also get to meet different people. 7. Join a group where you can meet people who have interests similar to your own. This will give you a renewed sense of confidence, enable you to make new friends and get your mind off of your own stresses. 8. Volunteer to help someone else. Sometimes, just seeing other people who are way worse off than you is a real eye-opener and instant stress relief. You end up doing something nice for another person who needs the help and everything gets put in its proper perspective. 9. Take a fast walk or run around the block. Sometimes, just getting out in the fresh air and running is a giant stress reliever. If nothing else, it is good exercise. Chances are that you will feel refreshed when you return home. 10. Cry. Johnny Ray said it best, "Go on baby and cry." Crying, like laughing, is a great way to release stress in an instant. Sometimes we all need a good cry. If you have been bottling up emotions, let it out by crying and chances are you will feel better. When to seek treatment. If you have been experiencing severe stress for more than a couple of weeks and have exhausted all natural remedies to no avail, you should seek medical attention. Yes, this book has repeatedly said that tranquilizers are bad, and they are, if taken at the first sign of a little stress and abused. However, if your blood pressure is shooting through the roof because you are stressed out all the time, a little chill pill will not hurt. If you are not finding any relief from your stress and feel that you are more stressed out than ever, despite everything that you are doing, talk to your physician. Your doctor will most likely prescribe some sort of medication to relieve your stress or anxiety. He or she may diagnose an anxiety disorder after he or she examines you and asks a series of questions. They will most likely want to know if you can identify the cause of your stress. They will want to know your family history and if anxiety disorders run in the family. They will also want to take a blood test and check you for diabetes as well as any thyroid conditions, both of which can be an underlying cause of anxiety or stress. Your doctor will take your blood pressure and most likely want to see you again if your condition has not improved. If your blood pressure is high, he or she will probably want to see you again in a week. In most cases, your doctor will recommend counseling or even a psychiatrist. Your regular physician is not a psychiatrist, who is a medical doctor who specializes in psychiatric medicine. A psychiatrist can make a more accurate diagnosis of your condition as well as prescribe medication. In addition to seeing a psychiatrist, you will probably also want to see a counselor. While a psychiatrist is a medical doctor, he or she will be more interested in monitoring you with medication. A counselor, therapist or psychologist will be the person with whom you want to discuss all your issues. Seeing a doctor for stress or anxiety does not make you crazy. As a matter of fact, it really makes you quite normal as more and more people are seeking medication for stress and anxiety disorders. Your doctor will also want to know if you are having thoughts of suicide or harming others. If you have suicidal thoughts, seek emergency treatment. Do not think that this will be a solution to all of your problems. All it will do is hurt every single person who loves you for the rest of their lives. Do you really want to do that to them? A doctor may also prescribe medication to balance your moods. If you are a woman who is close to menopause, the symptoms that you are experiencing could be due to menopause, and hormone replacement therapy may or may not be recommended. If given a choice between an antidepressant and hormone replacement therapy, many women will opt for the antidepressant as it has less of a chance of harmful side effects. The antidepressants act to boost the body's production of serotonin and end up stabilizing your mood. If untreated, stress can lead to a number of different ailments, including cancer. Stress is not something to mess around with or ignore. Going to a doctor for stress is very common today, and there is absolutely no need for you to suffer in silence. Try to use alternative means to relieve your stress with medication. If necessary, you may get to the point where you can control your reaction to stress and do not need the medication any longer. Do not attempt to self-medicate yourself, and do not abuse prescription drugs. You can learn to overcome stress if you follow the tips that are given in this book. Eat right, exercise, have a routine, do not be afraid to laugh or cry, and do not allow any person to continue to be a bane to your very existence. If you have a job that causes you a significant amount of stress, think about doing something else. Get out of the rat race and rejoin the human race. Quit allowing stress to run your life and the lives of those you love. Make a vow to stamp out stress and start loving life again.